Learning Activities, Chapter 13, Question number 2, page 353. We're supposed to go to the Ninth Commission website and summarize the Commission's most recent recommendations for reforming college athletics. These recommendations are intended to assure that the mission and values of higher education are reflected in our sports programs. This report was an 18-month study. The NCCA was concerned with improving governance and accountability, especially with D1 football and the billions of dollars that it produces. The study was done by the Art and Science Group, broken up into two different areas: conclusions and recommendations, and then ideas that merit further study. Also used was a 2009 presidential survey, athletics and spending data, restoring the balance report. The Commission study. They talked to over 50 higher education and college sports leaders. These leaders agreed that the college sports provide huge benefit to the universities and college athletes, but they had concern that the quest for revenue is undermining academic and institutional ideals. Some colleges and universities are even having to transfer money from other sports over to cover the high cost of football. They conclude that there's changes that need to be made to restore integrity to this part of university life. Conclusions and recommendations. There are 3 of these. First one, alter the composition of the NCAA Executive Committee and divide Division I football and the board of directors to include independent directors, and broaden the input received by the board to include experts and practitioners in either or membership roles. The Commission found a general loss of confidence in the NCAA governance. With the place college athletics has in our American culture, this loss of confidence could also lead to a loss of confidence in higher education in general. The Commission found a growing weakness in the governance model, as presidents need to look out for their college and conference financial interests ahead of what is best for college sports as a whole. Plus, not all universities are equally represented. This adds to the lack of confidence as well. In my own opinion, while university presidents need to maintain control of the NCAA governance board, they are not experts in all areas, and adding some professional voices that can add their expertise to the board and also offset or impact the fact that they don't represent a conference or a college could help equalize representation. The second one, a portion of the FBS college football playoff revenue should reimburse the NCAA for services that enable college football to operate as a college sport, and the funds should be used directly to support athletes' educational experience. The NCAA feels like that even though the post-season and everything is handled by other people, that with all the revenue that's generated, they need to be compensated for all the time and money and energy that's put into making sure that these teams are eligible and dealing with all those issues. The 1997 NCAA restructuring predates the BCS and the new playoff system, and they did not consider all of this when it was put together. The third area is they need to revise revenue distribution to ensure that academic incentives are appropriately embedded in the system. They want to reward schools that put education at the core of their mission and reward those practices or priorities for those values. A couple ideas that merit further study from the Commission report: a new NCAA subdivision for football only for institutions in the 5 major conferences, the Big 5 they call it, and other institutions that meet specific revenue generating criteria. In my opinion, I believe this would make the rich richer and the poor poorer, because if you're not in those 5, then you're probably going to be left out.